University of Missouri Healthcare knows you've got better places to be than in a hospital. That's where our world-class technology and highly skilled medical team come in. We get you home sooner. That's important to you and those who wait for you.
Rufus, guess who's home?
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Tuesday, June the 26th. And we have JOAN STACK with us from the State Historical Society. We're going to talk about cartoons and symbolism today. Welcome to Radio Friends, JOAN. Now you are holding in your hands a bumper sticker. So let me hold this up here. You need to, for this segment, you really should go to kbia.org, click on Radio Friends, and watch the vodcast because we've got a good video for this. Here's a bumper sticker that says, "Elephants eat peanuts," and this dates back to when?
To 1976.
And why?
Well, this is a cartoon, a bumper sticker that's associated with Gerald Ford's campaign. Now, we all know that the elephant is a symbol of the Republican Party, but some of us may have forgotten or maybe never knew that the peanut was associated with Jimmy Carter.
With Jimmy Carter, because Jimmy Carter was a peanut farmer.
That's right. And what's so fun about looking back at these editorial cartoons and ephemera and various political material is to see how different symbols were used and how they reflect the cultural milieu of the time and how much that sort of thing gets forgotten. Mm-hmm. And what you'll see if you come to our exhibit, we have cartoons featuring elephants and donkeys and various animal symbols starting, the elephants and the donkeys really start in the 19th century. Our earliest cartoons featuring elephants and donkeys, I think we have one from 1919.
Okay, so when, though, did the elephants and donkeys become associated with the political party?
With the parties. Well, the person who's given the most credit for that is Thomas Nast, who worked for Harper's Weekly at the end of the 19th century. Now, the donkey had been associated with Andrew Jackson, perhaps the play on the idea of the jackass Jackson, and he was a donkey was associated with Jacksonian Democrats for some time, but it didn't get associated with the Democrats as a whole until Thomas Nast started using it regularly. And he also introduced the idea of the Republican as a symbol for elephants.
Well, so how did elephants become associated with
Republicans?
Republicans?
Well, we don't really know. Some people think that Abraham Lincoln may have used it more as a decorative symbol on some of his campaign literature, but
it goes back that far.
Well, perhaps. I mean, there's some controversy about it. Nast was definitely the one who used it in the form of a political cartoon.
Okay, let me give you the bumper sticker back. Now, what are some of the other cartoons that we're going to see there?
Yeah, well, you can go. We have cartoons dating back to World War II. We have things from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and we also have contemporary cartoons. You're holding up now a cartoon by the Kansas City Star's cartoonist, Lee Judge, and this one features a Republican elephant. And what I love about this cartoon is the artist uses a technique that was developed by Jules Pfeiffer, who was a famous cartoonist, worked for the Village Voice in the 60s. And what he did was put the figures in sequence. So you have actually 6 little images of the elephant. And the first segment, the elephant is saying, we're very concerned about deficit spending. And then you have another picture of the elephant, looks very similar. You go through 4 pictures of the elephant doing nothing, saying nothing, as though the elephant is pausing and we're thinking about what he's saying. And of course, what some people might be thinking is, but wasn't there deficit spending under George W. Bush? And so then finally the elephant responds in the last panel and says, suddenly. Okay. So the joke is that you actually get a sense of time in this cartoon.
Yeah. So if you want to see these, go to kbia.org, click on talk shows and click on Radio Friends and watch the vodcast.
Yes.
And you can see the cartoons that we're talking about. Some of the other things that will be...
I really enjoy the bird symbolism. We see eagles being used as a symbol for America. We see doves as a symbol of peace.
How did the eagle become a symbol for the United States?
Well, that starts very early, and many people may know that Benjamin Franklin actually
wanted the
turkey.
The turkey.
Yes.
So Benjamin wanted the turkey to be our national bird.
But lots of other people felt that the bald eagle, which was a native bird to America, was a much more noble bird.
And turkey isn't very bright either.
Yeah, not very noble. So you start seeing eagles used very early. They appear on the state seal, and of course cartoonists then adapt the eagle and use it as a symbol for America in general. I think one great thing about this exhibit is it's a way to introduce, say, kids or people who are not originally from America to a lot of this political symbolism, because you have to learn it. It's like a language. So you have to learn that donkeys equal Democrats, that a dove equals peace, or that a hawk equals war. One interesting thing you'll see in this exhibit is the hawk doesn't get really associated with the idea of war as opposed to the dove of peace until the 1960s. So we have a cartoon from the 1940s.
The 1960s is when the dove became associated with peace?
Well, the dove had been associated with peace because of the biblical story of Noah for some time, but the idea of the hawk being, if you hear people talk about doves and hawks, which you will
hear that all the time.
That's something that really starts in the 1960s with the Cold War. And before that, we have an example from the 1940s in which Daniel Fitzpatrick, the cartoonist for the Post-Dispatch, does an image of a vulture to represent war. So it's he uses a different kind of animal symbolism. So it's interesting to see how these things change. And of course, we have the original drawings. So you're not just looking at the images in the newspaper. You're looking at sometimes very large editorial drawings that are really works of art.
And how long will this exhibit be there?
We're going to have it up through the election, so it's a good way to bring kids in and introduce them to some of those themes.
Now through November, is it November 6th?
I think so. And then we're gonna keep it up. We'll probably keep it up around through the inauguration, so through mid-January.
Okay. All right. So it's the State Historical Society. Your hours of operation, or
yes, you can come weekdays. We're closed on Monday, but Tuesday through Friday we open up at 8 and close at 4:45. And on Saturdays we open up at 8 and we close at 3:30, I believe.
Okay, and can they go online?
Oh, yes. Yes, and just Google State Historical Society of Missouri.
And will all of the exhibits that you have at the State Historical Society be available to, all that information is online as to what you have?
Yes, all the information about winning. And the cartoon exhibit is in the hallway. So we also have an exhibit of Thomas Hart Benton paintings, which I think I talked to you about last time. That's in the main gallery.
Okay, all right.
Hopefully you can come and see these and get ready for the political season.
Okay, Joan. Thank you so much. JOAN STACK, State Historical Society. Tomorrow, Voluntary Action Center and Columbia Art League. Our program directed by Travis McMillan of the Reynolds Journalism Institute. Audio is Pat Akers from KBIA. Our floor director is Danny Matteson, and our assistant producer and guest coordinator, Uncle James Mauser. And to watch this program, and you really should to see the cartoons, go to kbia.org, click on talk shows and Radio Friends, and sign up for a vodcast or a podcast. They're free. Bye-bye.